Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel, and today we're going to be getting back into the Gearwrench's new 90-tooth locking long flex head ratchets. So I just did a review slash unboxing of them, and they're very nice ratchets. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tear them down and compare the internals to the 84 tooth and the 120 XP. And then we're also going to go into the head designs and kind of how some have similarities and the differences and everything there, and show you guys all of that. So I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down in the comment section of your guys' thoughts. Also, all of these products will be linked down in the description for you guys, so if you're interested, it's there for you. And than that, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Let's get into this. So today we're going to be doing a comparison on the Gearwrench 84 tooth, 90 tooth, and 120 XP. In the past, I've done the 84 tooth, which I've had for a few years now, as well as the 120 XP, one of my favorite ratchet designs. And I recently picked up the 90 tooth standard version, non-flex or anything. And then now I just recently did a review on the long locking flex head version of the 90 tooth. So if you guys haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. But all of these products will be linked down in the description for you guys. Other than that, I use this digital caliper here to get some measurements on everything. After I share the measurements and everything with you, we'll get into actually looking at the gears and everything, comparing sizes, as well as swapping some of these gears out to see how they perform, or if you can even do it at all. So with the 84 tooth ratchets, I have the two-piece set. It's a 1/4 inch drive and 3/8 drive with the comfort grip locking, and really nice, really reliable set. I really enjoyed it. 84 tooth, still a high tooth count, so really nice ratchet. I like high tooth count ratchets. For the 1/4 inch ratchet, it is a 1 inch wide head here, and it is going to be 35 hundredths of an inch thick here. Sorry, wasn't looking at it. And then it is going to be 8 1/4 inches long, so you do have a good length here for a 1/4 inch ratchet. And I believe 9 different locking positions, 9 positions overall, 9 locking, which is really nice. So same exact specs as far as the locking mechanism on the 3/8 drive. Obviously the 3/8 drive is just going to be bigger. So with the 3/8, it is going to be 1 3/10 of an inch wide here, and then thickness is going to be 5/10 or 1/2 an inch thick here. So a nice slim design on these, which is really nice. This ratchet is going to be an overall of 13.5 inches, so some nice length here for a 3/8 drive ratchet. Moving into the 90 tooth ratchets, the 1/4 inch and the 3/8 are going to be the same specs. You're going to have 1 inch wide head, 35 hundredths of an inch thick, and same length, except for the non-comfort grip will be a little bit shorter. It's 7 inches instead of this, where it's 8 1/4 inches long. So as far as the comfort grip version of these new 90 tooths, they're going to be the exact same dimensions as the 84 tooth design here, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, the 1/2 inch drive, which I have over here, this is going to be 1 8/10 of an inch wide, 64 hundredths of an inch thick, and 17 inches long. Nice slim head design, whereas the 120 XP is going to be a little bit thicker when it gets up in there in the 1/2 inch drive. For the 120 XPs, I just have over here the 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch, and the 3/8 torn down here. The 1/4 inch is going to be, once again, 1 inch wide, 42 hundredths of an inch thick, and 7 inches long, which is going to be the same length as the 90 tooth without comfort grip. So a lot of similarities here in length and everything. Obviously, them being flex heads, they're going to be a little bit longer than your standard non-flex head ratchet and stuff like that. So a lot of similarities here as far as thicknesses and lengths. The 3/8 drive here that we have torn down is 1 3/10 of an inch wide and 53 hundredths of an inch thick and 11.5 inches long. moving into the 1/2-inch drive Gearwrench 120 XP. This is going to be 1 8/10 inches wide, and 74 hundredths of an inch thick, which is actually going to be 1/10 of an inch thicker than the new 90 tooth. So the new 90 tooth is going to be a little bit slimmer design as far as the head. Overall, all of them are fantastic ratchets. I haven't had an issue with any of them, and I've really enjoyed them. And that is also going to be 17 inches long. So, you know, you see a lot of similarities here. Handle comfort grip changes in the design, a little bit of changes here and there in the heads, and that's what's going to be the big thing. They have slimmed down the heads a little bit compared to their older ratchets. So these are nice, slim, strong designs, reliable, and so I'm just going to kind of go into some of the differences in between them. So first off, besides looking at the gears and everything, the backing plates are going to be different on them. The 84 tooth and the 120 XP are going to have backing plates like this, whereas the new 90 tooth is going to have a little bit different design backing plate. That's the only difference as far as the backing plate. The locking mechanism on the 90 tooth and 84 tooth are going to be the same. The logo has changed from this design here, the more up-to-date look here. You can also see here on the switching or reverse switch, they did add the line to kind of make it pop a little bit to be easier to see that on off. A little bit of a design change here at the base of the head. You have a straight cut here and a curved cut here. Not big differences. They're not going to be things that are going to change the operation or anything like that. Just some subtle differences that I noticed. The other thing that you're going to notice is this is a straight cut around the 84 tooth, where you have a beveled edge here around the 90 tooth. And that is where the 90 tooth and the 120 XP are going to share their similarities. They both have the beveled edges. You can see the logo change there, and same thing, difference here. So there is a difference in the design. Not that it's going to be a difference in design as far as performance, but as far as aesthetics and everything, as far as the way it looks and all of that. So other than that, not a big difference. So all very strong, reliable, and great performing ratchets. But now we're going to take a closer look at the actual internals. So in looking at the gears of the 84 tooth and 90 tooth, they're both going to run 86 hundredths of an inch wide, and it is going to be 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch thick as far as this section here. So they're the exact same, except the 90 tooth is going to have this indented bottom or hollowed out portion, whereas the 84 tooth kind of has this ring. Other than that, they're the same design. They both have the rubber O-ring seal in here for the backing plate and all that, one just being an 84 tooth and one being a 90 tooth. Other than that, they're the same. When looking at the pawls, here you're going to see the 84 tooth, and it does actually state 84-3/8, so this is for the 84 tooth 3/8 drive ratchet. And for the 90 tooth, you're just going to have the simple 90, 9 and a 0 there. So there is a little bit of a difference on the actual pawl, but other than that, very similar designs. Both of them work very well. So we're just going to go ahead and put the pawls back in there. Next, we're going to pull out the 120 XP head design, which you can tell is a little bit different. So a little bit taller, a little bit thicker, and definitely different. So the 120 XP is going to be the same width here across, 86 hundredths of an inch wide, but it is going to be 3/10 of an inch thick, so a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. And that is because you got dual stacked pawls in this system, so you need more space on that gear for both pawls to engage. If you look here, it doesn't look dual pawl, but with the 120 XP, it's a 60 tooth gear, and dual pawls, they alternate in making contact with this gear, so they rotate back and forth. I'll kind of try and show you guys that. So they go back and forth, locking into that main gear. So the poles are smaller as far as thickness here, you can see, and there's two of them double stacked. But now that I've given you the dimensions on all of those, here you can kind of see inside of each ratchet. But we're going to go ahead and take the 84 tooth gear and see if it'll go in the 120 XP. Here it is. So you got dual poles, and it does rotate 84 and 2 poles. That should be 168 positions. Other than that, the only thing that would kind of be a downside is the gear, since it is a 1/4 inch thick instead of 3/10 of an inch thick. That pawl is not all the way engaged. It does stick up higher than the actual gear itself, so that would be the only downside. But it does seem to operate just fine and hold its position. It doesn't bind up or anything like that. So we're going to go ahead and try the 90 tooth, which would actually create a 180 tooth, or 180 position. Sorry, 180 position. Don't freak out when I say 180 tooth. It's 180 positions. So that's one fine tooth count. You can hear them rotating back and forth. So really cool. So the only downside is that top pole is not going to engage completely on there, and I'm sure you would have some movement issue here with this gear not being the same height as this gear, so you might not get a good seal. But they do interchange and they do operate. Now I don't think this is going to go in here and operate, just because it is a fine tooth on a, yeah, it doesn't operate. You can back drag it and it binds up. So the 120 XP gear cannot go in other ratchets because it's a lower tooth count with a higher tooth count pole. Maybe if you switch out the poles, but not worried about that. Other gears can go in the 120 XP, and it does seem to hold its position just fine. You just have that issue with height. Other than that, hopefully you guys got some good information from this, and I really hope you guys can now decide which one you guys think are the best for your needs, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down in the comment section. These are all going to be linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. See you guys next time.